Whoa. It's a me, Mario. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa. It's a me, Mario. It's a me, Mario. Whoa.
Okay. And of course these and these. And this one. Hello, organic artist. How are you? I'm fine. This is my second day of vacation. I bought a new, I kind of bought a new truck yesterday, and now I'm enjoying some time off of work and catching up on my D&D stuff. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt up until yesterday. I hadn't had a vacation, like a real one, since paid time off. Since I think July of 2016. So it's been a long time. Yeah, I stream second edition every week. I play in a second edition campaign on Friday nights in the Mystara setting, and I stream it, and then I DM my own homebrew setting on Saturdays. And this is session prep for my Saturday game. My players just left a dungeon and went back to civilization, and now they're selling off all their stuff and all the treasure, and they're studying their scrolls that they found in their books of magic, and identifying magical items and stuff like that. So hopefully during that process we'll have plenty of city and town encounters. I love throwing in city and town encounters during upkeep sessions, because I have my players roleplay upkeep sessions. It's more fun that way. At least it's more fun for me that way. Oh, cool. September 4th, 2017. Very nice. Thank you for watching and following. So then you probably know that the group recently conquered a dungeon of mind flayers. Yeah, in 5th edition they just have downtime and you just do everything that you need to do just instantaneously. I like to have character interaction with NPCs when they're selling stuff, and it gives me an opportunity to throw different challenges at people, especially if there's buying and selling being done at night. You can actually have combat encounters in the city, which is cool. You can run into city guards and like recruit henchmen, you know. There's all kinds of stuff you can do if you have city and town encounters. Yeah, night markets. There's underground markets. So you can run into thieves at night, and some of them can be working thieves or thieves that are out of work. So thieves that are out of work, you might be able to make contact with a thieves guild through them. A working thief might try to steal from you, and if you're tricky enough to catch them, maybe you can recruit them or kill them and take their stuff, or however you want to deal with a thief that tries to steal from you. But usually a working thief, if you encounter one, will try to steal from you. At least that's how I run it. Sometimes they could be on their way to a heist of some kind, but that takes a little bit more planning. Usually it's the player characters that are the heist, and that kind of sets the stage for more intrigue, in my opinion. Yeah, smugglers, yep. Smugglers would probably be rogues that are on the job. You can also run into undead monsters in cities at night, and like werewolves and stuff. You can run into vampires and like zombies and what are they called? Ghouls and ghasts. You can run into all kinds of stuff. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. Searching for FXP1 cure. Yeah, building buildings is a big downtime thing, and during that time you're supposed to have different encounters, like once a month. training, yeah, I don't really run encounters during training. In AD&D 2nd Edition, training is mostly training to gain a level. If you're a non-human and you've reached your level cap, you need a trainer to gain a level. And then also, if you are learning like a new proficiency, most of the time you need a trainer, like if it's a language or something like that. Or if you are a warrior and you're being trained high mastery or grand mastery, you need a trainer. Yeah, that's what guilds are for. They kind of make thieves tithe a little bit. Thieves usually have some kind of safe house, which could be like a bar or a warehouse or like a brothel. Or even just a party house, like a flop house where people just hang out. Like a crack house in real life. Wards, let's see, I've used, I haven't used any of the, priest ones, but I've used things like Wizard Lock and stuff like that. So far I haven't really created any dungeons that were, made by a priest, so I haven't had the chance to use priest wards. But I have used Wizard Lock, and that was because a lich kind of took over part of a dungeon, and he Wizard Locked everything. Everything was Wizard Locked. And the only reason that he was able to Wizard Lock everything is because when I rolled random spells for his spell book, Wizard Lock was one of the spells that came up. So I use random spells, and I usually try to take advantage of those. So if you, in my campaign, you know, run into a dungeon where there's wizard locked doors, and there's probably a wizard or a lich or something in the dungeon, Wizard Lock is probably one of the spells that you'll be able to get once you get a hold of his magic books or his spell books. Yeah, the way I run my campaign, becoming a leader is the first of 3 tiers of your character's career. And it's basically all the low-level missions are keyed towards becoming a leader of some kind. Unless you're a class that doesn't gain followers, like a paladin or a wizard. They usually don't gain followers. Yeah, animate dead animals is a really interesting spell. Especially at level 1, you can create up to 2 hit dice worth of animated dead animals. And animated dead animals only have the hit dice that they had when they were living. So if you had like chickens or house cats or something, you could animate up to like 8 of them. Yeah, well, I mean, it would be kind of overpowered to have, 8 house cats, zombies. Especially since house cats are so cheap. You could buy a dozen of them at level 1 and animate them as zombie cats or skeleton cats at level 1 and really do some damage. I know each cat only does 1 damage per attack, but if you have 8 of them, that's 8 chances to roll 20s. So. And it's also a lot of hit points to soak up damage as well. And a lot of targets. So even a level 1 necromancer is really powerful. Yeah, well, I mean, everything you start with at level 1 you have to buy. So even your zombies aren't free. You could freely, have them turned into zombies for free, but you'd have to buy the cats or chickens or whatever you use. Right, but you'd have to encounter that, right? So the DM would have to put that in the game. How often do you encounter cats? See what I'm saying? You can only animate things that you encounter. You could say, hey DM, can you throw in an encounter with cats? And the DM would be like, fuck you? You as a player can also get caught for stealing or whatever. So there's always that. It's a lot easier just to buy them at level 1 and start the game with them and replace them as you go or as you lose them. And they're so cheap, why wouldn't you want to just buy them at level 1 anyways? I think a house cat costs like one silver. Something like that. Right, but like I said, what DM is going to put a cat farm in the game? You know what I mean? Were you going to go looking for a pet store? see. Money and equipment. Equipment lists. Animals. A cat. Yes, a cat. I was right. A cat is 1 silver piece. You can buy 10 of them for a gold coin. And animate. What are they have? I think they have like half a hit die. So you'd be able to animate 4 of them at level 1, I think. Number 1, skill check to find a cat. Yes. The find a cat skill. Number 2, cats are good at escaping. The level limits for most 1st through 3rd level spells are level 10. And that particular spell is in the Book of Necromancers and nowhere else, pretty much. Let's see, Appendix 1. Wizard spells, necromancy. Animate dead animals. Okay. It's, of course, a necromancy spell. The range is 10 feet. Components are verbal, somatic material. The duration is permanent. Casting time is 2 rounds. So it's a little ceremony that you have to do. The area of effect is special. The saving throw is none. This spell creates undead skeletons and zombies from the bones and bodies of dead animals, specifically vertebrates, fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The animated remains obey simple verbal commands given by the caster, regardless of the language employed. Only naturally occurring animals of no higher than semi-intelligence can be animated with this particular spell. Lizards, cats, frogs, weasels, tigers, and so on, including minimals and non-magical giant-sized animals. So minimals are smaller versions of normal animals, and then each animal has a giant-sized animal equivalent. They're all known as dire forms of the creature. So there's dire bears, dire wolves, dire boars, whatever. Giant eagles or dire eagle. These undead remain animated until they are destroyed in combat or turn. The animating magic cannot be dispelled. The number of undead that a wizard can animate depends on the animal's original hit dice, the caster's level, and the type of undead being created. The caster can create the following number of animal skeletons. 1/4 hit die animal or less, 4 per caster level. And half a hit die to 1 hit die, 2 per caster level. So I think cats have half a hit die. Let me check. Find mammal small. A cat. Mammal small. Let's try regular mammals. Okay, let's just try cat. Find cat. Cat change. Cat water. Cat winged. Cat crypt. House cat. Where is house cat? Find house cat. House cat. House cat. One word. Okay, find cat. The caster has to be higher level to do it. Best target for enemy dead animals on a creature from low-level encounters. The might, yeah. Osquips are found in the Underdark, so good luck finding one of those. But yeah, giant rats. You could animate those. You'd have to kill them first, which is the thing. So if you're level 1, if you're not accompanied by somebody, you could be killed by giant rats easily because they attack you in packs. So if you're alone, you might die, and you'd be depending on the fighter. That would be a good replacement for zombie cats that die. And I can't believe I just can't find the regular cat. Regular mammal. No. I thought it was in small mammal, but mammal. Minimal? Try minimal. No. Should be in small mammal, but beaver, chipmunk, ermine, ferret, fox, gopher, hedgehog, mink. Mole, monkey, mouse, muskrat, opossum, otter, sea otter, giant otter, domestic pig, wild pig, rabbit, raccoon, squirrel, flying squirrel, giant black squirrel, and woodchuck. No cat. What the hell? Bone blast, skull trap, and animate dead. Very nice. You can't animate spiders. It has to be vertebrates. The spell says vertebrates only. Yeah, specifically vertebrates. Fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Anyways, we are getting off track. We're supposed to be doing Paladin abilities. Yeah. I wanted to make this so that you can't overheal somebody. So I have to find the difference between minimum and maximum HP for the target creature, and then have the lay on hands amount and then keep lowest 1. So that is at target HP max. At target token HP vertical pipe max. Let's try HP underscore max. Feel free to use the Bone Blast and Skull Trap that command take rat drones against your players. Very nice. Huh, that doesn't work. I know there's a command for HP max, I just don't know how to do it for target, because it's for a selected token, it's selected vertical pipe, HP vertical pipe max. I don't know what the syntax would be for a target. Undead Master was my favorite kit from the Necromancer's Handbook. Yeah, those kits were really cool. Most of the cool ones at least, were meant for NPCs only, though. A lot of those, if you read the fine print, were meant for NPCs. There's some pretty sick stuff in that book too, like necrophilia is one of the side effects or whatever of one of the kits, like using one of their powers, or maybe one of the kits was required to be a necrophiliac or something like that. It was really gross. Yeah, Ravenloft. Wait. In Ravenloft, if you do evil stuff, you turn into an NPC. That's the whole point of Ravenloft, is not doing evil stuff at all. Because every time you do something bad, you have to roll a Dark Powers check, and you only get so many failures until you basically turn into like a werewolf or a vampire or some kind of monster. It's kind of like humanity checks in Cyberpunk. Like if you get too many implants and stuff, you start losing your humanity. And when you do certain things, you have to roll a humanity check or whatever, and if you fail, you go, what was it called? It's some kind of psychosis, like AI psycho or something psycho, and you become an NPC, like forever. You just don't get your character back, and your character becomes one of the villains in the story, and the players have to stop you, and you have to roll up a new character because you turn into like basically a terrorist or something, or just a cybernetic freak that goes around killing everybody. Oh, that's how you became an undead master. Huh. I'm surprised the DM let you keep running your character after that, because you're supposed to turn into one of the dark powers and have your own little like realm or something in Ravenloft after that. Yeah. Yeah, each time you fail, and you only have a certain amount of failures. It's like 4 or 5 failures, and then you become one of the dark powers themselves. .5 had those appendices at the back of the PHP 2 where you get builds to build leveled characters fast with 3 feat lists per class, ability score arrays, even generalized equipment lists, but the equipment lists were for NPCs, so you had to pick a higher level equipment set on the list to get the right gold. Oh, okay, yeah. Second edition has something similar. There's an NPC generator, or an NPC party generator, and depending on the level of the NPC, you roll a certain amount of times on a certain table, and each entry on the table might have like 3 or 4 different things on it. So the higher the level of the NPC, the more magical items they have. It's pretty insane how much magical items you can get out of that table, actually. What was I doing? I was going to look something up. I needed to know how to do HP max for a target. That's right. Help wiki. What the hell? Why did it go? Wow, what the fuckles? Okay. HP underscore, no, HP vertical pipe max. That's not a vertical pipe. Selected bar 2 max, guard intelligence max. We've introduced a third argument for variables, allowing you to pull the max of a bar or attribute. Add guard intelligence max. Right, but how do you do it for target? I mean, logically, it should just be at target, vertical pipe, HP, vertical pipe max, but that's not it. Target strength. Target 1 HP. Okay, here we go. Target 1 HP max. See if that works. Target 1 HP max. Paste. Test macro. Okay. That works. I wonder why it didn't work earlier. And can I delete the target 1 part? Let's see. I use those appendices to build, to join ongoing games for higher level games. Oh. Yeah, that's true. Although in a pinch, I mean, if you wanted to make a quick PC, and the DM would allow it, I suppose. But see, that's why I never allow PCs to start above level 1. I just don't do it. Because, one, it's not fair to the other players, because they all started at level 1. And 2, you never know if someone's trolling your group. And if you let someone come into your game and create a player character that's on par with the other players, you know, depending on their class and race combination, they could wipe out the entire party. And then what are you gonna do? Be like, no, you can't do that. Sorry, I don't allow PvP in my game. No, that's BS. So that's why whenever someone joins my game, I make them start at level 1. Everybody starts at level 1. Even if there's a player that's got a player character that's level 30, I'd still make new guys start at level 1. NPC not the same, better way to adapt the table. Yeah. I do use that table a lot though when I'm making NPC parties, because you encounter NPC parties all the time in 2nd edition, especially if you go to the Underdark or the Outer Plains. You run into NPC parties all the time. And that, by the way, is a great way to get the best magical items in the game if you trade for them. Because in 2nd edition, NPCs never sell magic items, but they will trade for them. And if you have something they can use that's equal or higher, magic than the thing that you want, why wouldn't they take it? I've had normally magic bows are impossible to get in 2nd edition, except in very rare circumstances, and trading is one of those circumstances. And I had a player get it was like a magic longbow +1 for her NPC henchman. She straight up traded with an NPC for it, and the NPC made the trade. Yeah, trolling like that is not your joy. That ruins the game. Yeah, but some people love to troll, so you always have to be careful. And then at... Oh, wait, that was... minus at target vertical pipe HP. Okay. So this should come out for him. It should come out 0. How about click again? And then in parentheses, thanks, roll 20. Click again, thanks, roll 20. Okay. And then we've got outer brackets, and we've got a wavy bracket, and a comma, and we've got at level... Oh, no. We want this bracket. At level times 2. Bracket. Wavy bracket. Keep lowest 1. Bracket. Test macro. Bam. Whoa. That's a lot of errors. Okay. Test macro. Bam. So it shows the equipment by level section, level 19 NPC with 170,000 gold for that game. Yeah. That's, yeah, like I said, that's a quick and easy way to figure out what magical items you should have if you're starting beyond level 1. But yeah, I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. For NPCs, it's fine. For PCs, I just don't like it. Besides, if you start beyond level 1, then you have to write a super long, stupid bio to show, like, oh yeah, I defeated the vampires of the Dark Grotto and, you know, the Goblin King of the Troll Mountains and this, that, and the other, and you know, you got to make a long-ass story if you're going to start off at level 20 or something. And then your character has really no personality or depth because you just started the character. You usually don't figure out how you like to roleplay your character until you get to, like, maybe the 3rd or 4th session that you play them with, you know? So, and in my game, by the 3rd or 4th session, you're level 3 or 4. because you pretty much gain a level per session until, well, most of the time, until you're level 3 or 4 anyways. And then it slows down. You're a bit unclear before if you're only choosing the equipment area and not the whole road. I think they were talking about campaigns instead of campaigns. Yeah. I don't even play in campaigns. I've tried to play in campaigns like that. Like, I think I tried like last summer to play in one, and I was playing a Paladin we were starting at level 5, and we were on our way to White Plume Mountain, but for some reason we were in Greyhawk. It was weird. I think White Plume Mountain's supposed to be in the Forgotten Realms, but he told us ahead of time, like, we're playing a Forgotten Realms adventure in Greyhawk, which I didn't care. And on the way, we were running into NPCs that were like, hey, can you help us fight the goblins? And in my bio, when I created the character, that was what I did for my first 4 levels, was fight off goblins and humanoids and stupid shit like that. So when I encountered those NPCs, I was like, I don't want to fight goblins again. I want to go to White Plume Mountain right fucking now. Like, get out of my way. Seriously. And the DM never never had another session again after that. He was just like dumbfounded that I didn't want to fight goblins at level 5. It was pretty funny. That's the trouble with starting above level 1, is there's shit that you've already done and you don't want to do it again. You know, you want to go do something that's more epic because you're level 5. Staff of Evocation for Staff of Enchantment. +7 Mithril Shirt or Bracelet Armor +7. Jesus Christ. Cloak of Charisma +6. Holy fuck. Headband of Intellect +6. Band of Protection +2. Gauntlets of Dexterity. See, I would expect all that from a character that was in their 20s. Because they've been around so long, they could share with other party members and get shit that's that powerful. Because normally, there might be one character in the whole group that gets a good magical weapon on the first whole adventure, right? And then maybe during the second adventure, someone else gets a magical weapon, or maybe 2 people. And, you know, magical items are rare. If you roll them up randomly, they're really rare. So by level 8, when the whole party is level 8, you got 5 people that are level 8. You might have 3 or 4 magic weapons, which is not everybody in the group, right? You might have 2 or 3 suits of magic armor. You might have 3 or 4 magic shields. You might have... By then you'd have a bunch of magical ammunition, like sling bullets, arrows, and crossbow bolts, because usually magic ammunition is really common. And then you'd have a metric fuckload of potions. And like 2 or 3 scrolls. And that's it. By like level 8, that's what you're looking at. So... people say it's hard to get magic items in 5th edition. Well, it has always been hard to get magic items in D&D. Unless the DM actually places them, which I don't like. Except for a few things, like holy swords. If there's a paladin, you have to place one somewhere. You have to, when there's a paladin, you kind of have to cater to that character class. There we go. That's working as intended. Okay, so let's save that. And we'll test it on the regular menu. Paladin abilities. Lay on hands. And this guy is always hurt, so I'll click on him. Yeah. That's good. Okay. I always like questing to create a magic item that was epic and hard. Create a magic item section. Yeah, the DM is supposed to set up all that stuff, not the player. And I actually have one of those that I set up. A player pitched me a magic item once, and this is what I came up with. It was a combination of 2 magic items from the Dungeon Master's Guide. It was a Vorpal Rod of Lordly Might. So a Rod of Lordly Might, that's also Vorpal. That's really fucking powerful. So this is what I threw at him. Okay, so I put a little picture on there. The Vorpal Rod of Lordly Might is a warrior-only rod with mace, axe, climbing pole, ladder, and Vorpal functions as described under Rod of Lordly Might and Vorpal Sword. Cast a mace of adamantite alloyed steel with the following. The paralyzation function of the Rod of Lordly Might takes the exotic material Tentacle of a Carrion Crawler. Ooh, yeah. With the exotic process, you steep it in water and use to quench the item after it is molded. Fear effect, the yellow tail of a dragon. So you gotta find a yellow dragon somewhere, which is like amber dragons, gold dragons, yeah, good luck. And then the oil is extracted from its fat and used to treat the item at the end of its process. The drain ability, teeth of a vampire, crushed into a powder and beaten into the alloy of the head of the rod. The mace +5 requires the mace of a bugbear. Casted as a mold used to form the head of the rod. The sword of flame +5. The true flaming sword of a Tulani Eladrin is required, held aloft over the altar at the moment of the item's completion. Oh yeah, this item was being made by a priest, by the way, so over the altar. Battle axe +5. The axe of a Nikoloth. Let me show you what a Nikoloth is. This is what I came up with. A Nikoloth is an extremely powerful, like, demon. Or no, a Yugoloth. That's somewhere in between demon and devil. Really tame stuff. I love the hell out of the clear creation rules at 3.5. Find Nikoloth. It's a greater Yugoloth. They're observers and reporters. Nikoloths reconnoiter the lower planes and observe the blood war. Nikoloths look like fiends in their characteristic gargoyle-like appearance. They are hulking, broad humanoids with powerful limbs and wings, thick, light green skin with a leathery texture, and sharp, thick claws that make excellent weapons. Nikoloths communicate using telepathy. Okay. Nikoloths have giant two-headed axes. 9 out of 10 of these axes are magical, though of common variety, +1/+2. Of the enchanted axes, 20% have a special enchantment, e.g. Vorpal, etc. So you're melting this axe aloft over the altar, and it's consumed to make the battle axe function of this item. But it could be any axe of a Nikoloth. Okay. The climbing pole, the hand of a hook horror, placed upon the altar and blessed 5 times. Storm giant strength. I guess that's one of the functions of the climbing pole. The hair of a storm giant, crushed into a powder and beaten into the alloy of the head of the rod. Magnetic north. I guess that's a function of the rod. A deep dwarf's magnet. Melted down and used as part of the alloy of the head of the rod. And the vorpal function. The sword of a solar. Okay? Like a greater angel. Held aloft over the altar at the moment of the item's completion. That's because these are exotic materials and exotic processes to make this thing. To complete the enchantment, cast destruction upon the finished item on your consecrated altar. So destruction destroys everything. And everything is consumed. But yeah, that was the item that he pitched to me. And this is the process that I came up with. Every single function of the Magicka item had to have an exotic material and an exotic process. Because it was so powerful. He wanted to make it a +5 magical item. Permanent spells with permanency, which was nice. Craft contingency spell was better. Craft contingency spell? Huh. Weird. This is what adamantite looks like in my campaign. This is the adamantite, so it's the raw material used to make adamantium. So this is the stone or whatever where that's purified into adamantium. That looks like an opal of some kind in real life, but oh well. It's a black crystal, whatever. Okay, so next up on my thing was Circle of Power. Find circle. Paladin ability, Circle of Power. Player character classes, class descriptions, warrior, paladin. Had a Thayan that basically had his own personal mythal that responded to verbal phrases. I spent real world effort crafting if then statement like programming triggers for the contingencies. That's cool. Circle of Power. 10 feet in diameter when the sword is unsheathed and held. This power dispels hostile magic of a level up to the Paladin's experience level. The Holy Sword is a very special weapon. If your Paladin acquires one, the DM will explain its other powers. See Sword, +5, Holy Avenger. That's, of course, the most powerful Holy Sword. Okay, so we've got oh, shit. That was hard, by the way. I'm not a programmer, I'm a biologist. Cone snails. My first guess is blood. You work with blood. Cone snails would be more pharma now. My guess is blood in a hospital. And not taking blood samples, but actually in the lab after the phlebotomist takes the sample. Concentration in genetics, microbiology, virology, because viruses are tools for genetic. Oh. Interesting. Sounds like some East Coast shit. And I work in HIV research. Interesting. They are researching the poisons for medicine. Huh. So yes, blood. I was somewhat correct. Nothing. Nothing. No. So it would appear I have finished my Paladin stuff. Now I think I'm going to do some city encounter stuff as promised. Oh wait, no, I didn't finish Circle of Power, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. From Circle of Power. Okay, Paladin Circle of Power. Lay on hands. Let's copy this first part. Copy. And cancel. Paladin abilities. That's Whispered GM. That's good. Oh, Whispered it. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so paste this. Circle of Power. This needs to be Whispered to GM though. Circle of Power. / Whispered GM. Holds aloft the holy sword What is the name of your holy sword? And New window. I held aloft my magic sword and said, I have the power! HIV research, so you're not into those. Bacteriophage stuff that's getting some hype in the antibacterial circles. Viruses that attack the immune system are spooky. Not only HIV, but Ebola right attack the immune system. Bacteriophages are awesome. Sorry, pop science here. Player character classes, class descriptions, warrior, paladin. Okay. Circle of power. Copy. And paste. Close brackets. Okay. We don't need to name the sword. Paladin using Holy Sword projects a circle of power 10 feet in diameter when the sword is unsheathed and held. So just in their hands. Doesn't have to be held up above the head. Paladin uses. Yeah. So. Okay. Start the music over again. Thanks, Roll20. The music used to just play. Now you have to start it over again whenever you load. 10 feet in diameter, sword is unsheathed and held. This power spells hostile magic of a level up to. Vertical pipe at question mark, open bracket. What is the Paladin's experience level question mark? Okay. That will complete the Paladin portion of this stream. There are new surface treatments based on the shark scan that bacteria just can't cling to or grow on that hospitals are looking into for using to cover surfaces. Growing antibiotics by doing not too finish retarding the production of everything the salmon games. Wow, shark skin doesn't grow bacteria on it? Interesting. I didn't know that. Paladin abilities. We've got Detect the Presence of Evil. The spell is just for description. Because it works identically to the spell. Oh, what the fuck? Powerful monsters. Nothing. Missed the comma right there. There we go. Okay, Paladin abilities. Lay on hands. Here's an injured guy. Cure disease once a week. Peace, we cure disease. Why did that not work? Disease. Oh, I didn't put that in. There we go. Sorry, we're off track. No, it's fine. Excuse me. I'm allergic to something in here. Oh, that's weird. I was never forced to watch PBS. In fact, PBS cooking shows saved me from my parents' bad food. Interesting. Protection. Protection from evil. Yep. Because that's how it works. Just like protection from evil. Okay, circle of power. Up to no, this spell's hostile magic will level up to 3. That's good. Turn undead. Paladin's turn undead as priest score 2 levels lower. Zalmond, the level 3 paladin, attempts to turn undead as level 1. That's good. And paladin abilities. Priest spells. So that's good, that all works. We know that. Eventually I can cast Cure Light Wounds. I can cast Combat, Protection, Healing, and Combat, Protection, Healing, and once he reaches 9th level, he can cast only spells of the Combat, Divination, Healing, and Protective spheres. Spheres are explained in the Priest section. The acquisition and casting of these spells abide by the rules given for priests. Once he reaches 9th level. Okay. So that part's done. All right. That's an NPC. Okay, so now let's open up our encounters. And we have city and town encounters right here. First one is Assassin. Bloop. And multi-sided, so we do have an Assassin rollable table somewhere. Find. Nice. 13 assassin tokens. Unfortunately, we're going to delete most of these because they're not animated. Might as well delete the whole table and make a new one. It would take less time. So that is what I will do. Delete rollable table. Actually, no, I will not, because they're in some kind of order here. Looks like assassin, beggar, good wives, courtesans. Oh yeah, I need to get a really hot chick and make hookers for the courtesan thing. jerk face. Yeah. Along with Bale. You need to make 2 prostitute types, streetwalkers, and courtesans. Okay, so AD&D 2nd edition only has 1 type. It's courtesans. So yeah, different economic classes. So AD&D first had streetwalkers, but I think they called them prostitutes in 1st edition. In 2nd edition, they cleaned up a lot of the bad language, like they stopped using the word demon and devil and started using Beatuzu and Tanari. They stopped using prostitute and started using only courtesan. So courtesan means to them just prostitute. And there's only 1 kind in 2nd. Streetwalkers and courtesans, different classes, different clientele. Okay, courtesans is a term that needs to come back. It is classier. Yeah. The Satanic Panic, that's exactly it. That's what formed 2nd edition. So 2nd edition is much cleaner. I'd say it's probably the cleanest of them all, because they don't use the word demon or devil or, prostitute. It's also a lot easier to DM than 1st edition, though, because you don't have to count up hit points to figure XP for each individual monster. It's just each monster is this many, XP, and they might have a different random number of hit points. Okay, so I made tokens for assassins, and they look like ninja. And there's a male and female. Oh, you know what? I did it. I named him Thief. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to delete these because they're not animated. I only want animated shit from now on. Alright, so these ones are not the ones I'm thinking of. It's this, Working Thief and Working Thief Female. And then I'll probably put in Ninja in there just in case. Alright, so Working Thief. And then Working Thief Female. So you can't really tell the difference between a working thief and an assassin, because they're dressed head to toe in black and they're sneaking around, obviously, and you just spot one in the city street, like behind a garbage can or some shit. Okay, so I'm also gonna put Ninja in there to make it interesting. So here's a male ninja. And female ninja. And we'll save changes. And well, yes, the name is Satanic Panic of Underground Satanic Cults. Perfect, yeah. Fire Society type, modern roleplay, pre-modern societies, Satanic Panic, video game panic, explicit language panic. Yeah. Okay, so roll a token for assassin. Flip vertical. Flip horizontal. And again, these are humans, so they don't get infravision. And I want lowercase in here. Assassins are chaotic evil. Interesting. Assassin. And we've got 4 hit points. 12. And AC 6. Then 0 feet of sight. Has sight, so it changes. Now we've got a nifty little assassin. Now we'll link it to the sheet. Edit. Move. Yes, delete. Use selected token. So it changes. Remind me that news blurb gave me brain damage. I laughed. Okay, and we'll delete this old one. We no longer need him. Okay, we'll keep this up here for display for now to show what we've done. Okay, next one is bandits. Okay, we've got bandits. Bandit in the city. And he's multi-sided as well. Choose side. So it looks like we've got they're just 3 different kinds of spearmen. So I guess it doesn't really matter what they look like. But they've all got the same weapons. Longsword, spear, shortbow. Yeah, they've all got the same weapons. Longsword. Slashing. 5. Oh, where'd it go? Spear. The weight of the spear is like 3 pounds or something. I think they're medium. Do piercing damage. Speed of 6 is fine. Short. The range on a short bow. Etc. Gear and equipment. Bow. Short. The flight arrow 10, 20, 30. Spears weigh 5 pounds. The short bow weighed what, 2 pounds? It's a medium weapon, I think. Piercing damage. Yeah, Yeah, they all have the same. So we've got. This is official papal Catholic BS. Well, the church has always had those exorcists, so I take that as normal. Stuff over here. And they are scared of Harry Potter. Oh, yeah, Harry Potter. Right, yeah. In Australia, Harry Potter's banned. Okay. Bandits. Three bandits. They all have spears. Okay, I only have one for bandit. Guess I could do ranger-like characters. Okay, so we'll delete this. It's not animated. Okay, we'll call this one the Studded Leather Bandit. And this one will be Leather Padded Bandit. Cool. Save changes. Token. Advanced, flip vertical. Advanced, flip horizontal. Bandit in city. Nine. 0 feet. Has sight. So it changes. Edit. Remove. Here's delete. Just select a token. And what the hell, we'll do regular bandits while we're at it. That's human. Bandits. Yep. Yep, I just had 3. Okay. Love using bandits. Edit, remove. I had a group of player characters years ago that they would only travel on patrolled roads, and when you do that, you run into bandits a lot. And the cool thing about running into bandits is they're always led by a level 3 fighter. And anytime somebody has a level and a class, they have a chance to have treasure. And fighters, lo and behold, love to carry fighter gear like magic swords, magic armor, and stuff. And at level 3, you have a 5% chance per level in each category of fighter gear to get a magic item. So 15% chance in about 5 or 6 different categories. So you're almost guaranteed to get a magic item if you eradicate an entire group of bandits and their leader. So they started rolling around with fireballs and lightning bolts and shit like that. And anytime they'd run into bandits, they'd nuke the fucking shit out of them. And it was awesome. Okay, bandit leader in city. So there's only one token for that, so that means I need to make a rollable table. Because bandit leaders are fighters. And fighters are the shit. Find fighter. Probably don't have a fighter. Rollable table. Fighter. Alright. Oh yeah, we can delete this one. I don't use that one anymore. Full plate meal. That's good for fighters, I guess. Do you have familiar fighting killers, or is that too small potatoes for your character? What do you think of? Or the trade? Familiar fighting killers. So like like Pokemon and shit, like fights for your familiars to fight. Make him look more like a fighter. So probably that one definitely is a fighter. Sword, spear, short bow. Interesting. Fighter. Not Street Fighter. Warrior. That's what I would envision a bandit leader to be dressed like. Something like that. Something fucking weird. Okay. That's good. And how about the regular bandit leader down here? An out in the country bandit leader would look like this. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so delete this and scroll back up to bandit leader. Boom. I don't know how much I'm familiar with having 2E and haven't really used 1 and 3.5E. Thought the connection capped out when the playlist changed. Oh no, it just sometimes it kind of lags. There's a little bit of lag in between songs every once in a while. But oomph, in second edition, and familiar does not belong in the same sentence. Familiars are very weak. Anytime you send your familiar off away from you, you're taking a huge risk because when they're in contact with your body, they use your saving throws, and when they're not in contact with you, they use their own saving throws. And most of the time, they're tiny creatures, like a cat or a frog or a turtle or like a bat or something, and they're really easy to kill. They have whatever amount of hit points they normally have, plus your level in hit points. So if you're level 20, they're probably just going to have like 21, 22 hit points, something like that. And they have their normal AC and their normal movement rate and all that. They don't cast spells. They don't do anything other than help the caster's senses. So you get the senses of whatever animal you get. So if you get a cat, you probably get night vision. If you get like a bullfrog or a lizard that has eyes on the side of its head, your flanks disappear, which is nice. And then they give you a +1 against surprise checks, which if you apply that to 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition, that's almost like, what do they call that? Awareness or perception checks. So they're only useful when they're in contact with your body. So you hold them, like you cradle your kitty and you pet him and stuff, and you role play petting your cat or your lap dog or whatever it is. And you're supposed to always hold them. And if they die, you have to roll a saving throw versus death or die, and if you pass the saving throw, you lose a constitution point. So no matter what, whenever you get a new familiar, you're eventually going to lose a constitution point. So it behooves you to keep your familiar with you at all times. Like, don't let it go running off. Literally role play keeping it in your hands or whatever on your shoulder at all times, because it's not worth it. It's really not. Okay, so now we've got the beggar. All right, and for some reason I was all capping all of these. If there's a good beggar portrait. I remember having trouble finding good portraits for these things. Alright, I think I made a table for beggars. Multi-sided, two-side. Okay, I just made it's just peasants and shit. Okay, so I'll find that table. Find beggar. Okay. I only have 2 people with raggedy clothes, so it's a male beggar and a female beggar. And that's pretty much it. That's all you really need, too. Male and female. Okay. So we'll delete this. suppose I could use afflicted too. Male and female afflicted. That might actually be what I used. Nope, no it didn't. I'm gonna try that actually. Let's see, so beggar male. Save changes. Beggar female. Save changes, and I'm gonna grab 2 more tokens real quick. Let's see. New tab. Close this one. I'm not sure if you can take off the afflicted's hat. They wear these hats that look like plague doctors. I asked about encountering familiars after reading Pathfinder Wiki for the city has a former familiar problem because of a magic academy. So it has pseudo-dragons and imps fighting on the rooftops. Oh, okay. So you... In AD&D 2nd edition, when you cast the Find Familiar spell... Oh, okay. Yeah, it does a little bit, yeah. But it's not too big a problem. So this token is, it's called Afflicted. And they look like plague doctors from Darkest Dungeon. But I might be able to take off their hats and just use their raggedy ass robe. And that would give me more beggar looking characters, which would be nice. It's always nice to have as many, like a large variety as possible. Always, always, always. Large variety is nice, because then people complain less. Complaining is not what I want. I think I'm going to shut down Discord, because none of the patrons are coming in and talking to me. So that'll speed things up a lot. Discord is a very large RAM lag. So we'll just shut that down. Okay. Afflicted. Animate. Okay, so you can take off the mask but not the hat, which is fine because they look like beggars anyways. I'll give them like a brown robe to match. Oh, you can color the hat. Okay. I'll give them like a brown hat and like a gray robe or something. They look like they have a little bandage, detail. Oh, and they've got a little belt thing to keep the robe shut. That's cool. He actually looks more like a beggar than the beggar does. Okay. Because of all the holes in his robe. Alright, so I have to shrink down the virtual tabletop a little bit. I'm not minimizing it, I'm just shrinking it. So it's gonna look a little wonky on the screen. How many editions have you played? I have played first edition for like maybe 10 sessions. Second edition for probably thousands of sessions. Third edition maybe like 2 sessions. And then fifth edition like maybe 2 or 3 sessions as well. So mostly second edition. I haven't really bothered with the rest. Although I will say I don't like the way magic works in 5th edition. It annoys me. But that's just my personal opinion. It's all the, you know, what's a cantrip and what's not, and you can raise the level of the spells and stuff like that. And then there's concentration and non-concentration, and it's annoying. I just like the way it works in 1st and 2nd, where every spell is a particular level and it gets more powerful as you level up, and that's it. And eventually you hit a hard spot where it stops leveling up with you most of the time. Unless the spell specifically says it goes up to this level. Okay, so now I'll get the female version of this. And we'll give her, we'll make her robe white. And her hat will be gray. And her little bandage thing will be red, I guess. Yeah, red bandages. And her belt will be yellow. No, green. Give her a green belt. Yeah. This is we'll call them lepers, I guess. So rename leper. Leper female. Yay. I want to read Wrath and Glory. I want to see what they did after seeing what happened with D&D and Pathfinder. Huh. After what was done. Few 100 first years of second years of third 3.5 was invested to fourth launch event by friends from Wizards in Seattle and repudiated the system halfway through the event as trash and played about 30 sessions of fifth before getting fed up with it. Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with fifth either. I played a dwarf cleric for like 2 sessions. And I played a high level paladin for 1 session. And then I played a tiefling warlock for 1 session. And so that's 4 sessions of 5th edition that I've played. And I was not impressed. The paladin session was on Newgrounds, and the other 3 sessions were on Roll20. And yeah, I don't like the magic system. I'd probably like it better if I played a class that didn't have magic, but those don't exist in 5th, from what I understand. Like every class eventually gets spells, except for maybe the rogue and like, I don't know, the fighter. But every other class gets it. Fifth feels like a house that has all the furniture covered in plastic so you don't ruin it. Fourth was a simplified and cut down RPG, and fifth was a partial rebounded. Yeah. Yeah, I heard they were trying to make fourth be like World of Warcraft. So all your abilities had cooldowns. And you weren't really limited in how many times you could use them. Okay. I just need to do a couple of things with these 2 new tokens, and I'll be able to upload them. And put them on those that rollable table. I'm surprised I didn't think of doing this before. The afflicted looks so much like a beggar. They basically look like a beggar with a pointy hood. There's holes all up in their robe. GIF. No, goddammit, don't crossfade frames. There we go. And crop it. Square. Trim transparent pixels. Crop image. I apologize for all the coughing and stuff. Burner equals Burning Man Community Potluck. Oh. Okay, and the female one. Test, test, test. Yeah, I see you. The D6 success is based rolling in Wrath and Glory. Looks interesting. Remember D&D Next, anyone? The thing that didn't come out in time with 4th? Yeah, well, 5th edition is supposed to be D&D Next. Don't stack frames. Yeah. 4th was just a mistake from the beginning. It was Rob Heinsu's invention. Right? Was that his first name? Rob? Something Heinsu. And he, I think, is the guy, one of the guys that worked on World of Warcraft. Or something like that. Rename female leper. Okay. Now we'll close this. Reopen the virtual tabletop. Just want to save this for now. And we'll put down the leper here. Remember D&D Next? Oh yeah, D&D Beyond is D&D Next. Oh. Yeah, they were supposed to have, they were supposed to make a virtual tabletop with D&D Next. I remember seeing a video about it. and it looked like a crappy version of something that would have come out before Roll20. When I saw Roll20, I was like, wow. I was wowed. Because the last time I had seen anything like that was that presentation of D&D Next. Okay, so here's the male leper. That'll be another kind of beggar. And then the female leper. So AD&D first had all kinds of rules on getting diseases and parasites, and you had diseases and parasites that would kill you, and diseases and parasites that were chronic, and there were tables and tables you'd have to roll on to check to see if you would get a disease or if you would get a parasite. And then once you got one, you'd roll on 3 or 4 different tables to see what it did. So essentially every time you got a disease or a parasite, it was a custom thing. They were all pretty much unique because there were just so many tables. And then in 2nd edition, they removed parasites and just put in diseases, and now there's only two kinds of diseases. There's chronic and life-threatening or something like that. Okay. So now we've got our tokens for that. Find beggar. Boom. Close this. And we'll search for leper. Whoops. And the female leper. Save changes. And save those changes. And we'll delete these. And we'll roll a token. Beggar. Advanced, flip horizontal. Advanced, flip vertical, face south. Ten, 4, 12. Skeleton. Feet and sight. Save changes. Boom. Keep your coins. I want change. Yeah. Edit. Remove. Yes, delete. Here's select token. Changes, and done. On to the next one. City Guard. One token. City Guard leader. Indentured wizard. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break for dinner. I'm famished. And I'm gonna come back with tokens for these. City Guard leader, indentured wizard, and probably lieutenant.